Masters of the Universe Revelation Mossman. Coming July 23rd, the new cartoon. I'm starting out with Mossman. I was fortunate enough to land the entire wave. I have Skelegod review, I've done the Battle Cat review, and now I'm going to get into this awesome group here. Take a look at the artwork of all four boxes together. That is some beautiful, beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. All right. Mossman. Bam. Let's take a look at the back. Give you a chance to freeze that frame and read the bio if you want. Look at this beautiful artwork. You see the wave here on the bottom. Interestingly enough, that is referred to as classic action figure or classic Skeletor. And that's interesting because He-Man is just referred to as He-Man. And if you look at the sale options on a lot of websites, you'll see that distinction between a classic described figure or a modern figure. And I just wonder if we're going to get other iterations of these guys. And that would be really awesome. I decided to start out with Mossman just because I find him to be the most unique figure in the wave. Really apart from Skelegod, because Skelegod is rather really unique. And he is basically a new figure in the mythos, right? Skelegod is not a part of any of the historical cartoons. So I guess he technically would be the most unique figure. But for me, I wanted to check out Mossman first. So let's go ahead and get him out of the box. You've seen these boxes before, so no point in going over that. I just wanted to share the art and the thoughts on the classic versus modern, quote-unquote, figures. Here we go. Let's unbox. We've got him out the box and ready to rock. Let me mess with the light a little bit because I don't want to flood out the detail and the colors on them. Let me look for what works. Give me 1 second. 1 second. Click. Next YouTube video. All right. I think that lighting should work. Just real quick. The clamshell that they come in is really easy to get them in and out. They don't come with those annoying wires or those plastic ribbons or whatever that you have to cut and they're a pain in the neck. It's just a simple clamshell. Figure pops in and out. Accessories pop in and out. It has some corners to help it meet the insides of the box nice and flush for reboxing. And that's really cool because that's an important kind of thing. All right, Mossman. First impression, first time I've ever held him in my hand. I just stood him up the way he came out of the box. He's a knockout. Let me mess with the lighting. Let me see if I can. How about that? Is that a little better? Yeah. Wow, I don't want to say he's a beast, right? Because he's not Beast Man. But this dude is a beast. He's a savage. But then again, he's a savage for good, right? He's a protector of the earth or of Eternia. So he's a savage for good. So what would we call that? You know, somebody has to make up a word for a good savage. Or is it already common knowledge that some savages can be fighters for good? You know? Things that make you go, So I'm just checking out the joints to see how stiff they are, how loose they are. And they're pretty stiff. They're good. Not stiff in an annoying way or an impossible way. But they're nice, tight joints where I don't think you're going to have to be, at least at the shoulder right now. You're not going to have to concern yourself with them getting loose and wobbly. So we've got a shoulder that does rotation, biceps that have rotation. Awesome so far as we work on articulation going down. No rotation at the forearm or elbow, but we've got rotation at the wrist. Nice and smooth. And this is a smooth joint. Oh, wait a minute. Is it ratchet? Nope, it's just a double joint. Cool, very smooth, very nice. We've got, oops, head came right off. Was it loose or was it that I popped it off previously? No, all right, cool beans. He's got some good movement. a little bit down. Some people are going to be shorter than him. And about that much up. The torso, I find, does not, the upper part does not, oh, the head came off again. It's because I'm hitting the beard. I'm hitting the beard and it's making things loose. I find that the top doesn't really articulate much. You know, it has like a wobble. I had the same problem with my Battle Cat though, so I could be wrong. It could just be tight. I was wrong with my Battle Cat. I thought it didn't have a wobble in the two joints in the torso or articulation, but it did. I saw other YouTubers and they got it to function, and ultimately I was able to get mine to function. He's got rotation at the waist, and that's all it is. So there's really not much of a crunch going on in the upper body at all, really at all. You can do this and it kind of feels like you're moving, but there's no posability at all from the shoulder down to the waist. In the legs, yes, he has rotation at the leg, just like Skelegod. That's a win for Mattel. There's some toy lines out there that their action figures are described as being highly articulated, yet there is no rotation in the leg. You know, you have the hinge at the hip for those figures, and there's no rotation at the thigh, no rotation at the knee, no rotation at the boot cut, and minimal rotation in the feet with almost no wobble in some action figures. And in this particular action figure, there really isn't much of a wobble or a rocker, you know? And that's important for those angled poses that you might want to set up. So, yep, I'm talking a lot here, but I'm really enjoying checking this figure out. Hope you're enjoying it too. If not, you don't hear what I'm saying right now because you already clicked past the video. All right, so yeah, we've got some cool swivels here at both thighs. Nice, and I really dig the detailed sculpting on the legs. That's with the light there, no? There we go. Nice. And you know what? It's not identical. It's not a mirror image of the other leg, you know? They're very much unique vine structures. Then we've got a double jointed knee. Unfortunately, that swivel here at the leg allows for some really cool poses, but since there really is not much or any ab crunch, you could actually still get a pretty decent quasi-sitting pose. Check that out. Very cool. I love the articulation on these figures. I love it. I love it. Between Skelegod and Mossman so far, these figures are awesome. You know what? The hate parade on this is insane. I guess we live kind of like in a modern day where we're complaining and just being, you know, just marching with the hate parade. I don't know. I guess it's I don't know, some kind of a fun or something, maybe sometimes for some people. I don't know. Because I really don't get it. Before people even get to sample something, there's all kind of criticism. This thing, having it in my hand, it is an outstanding action figure. It is outstanding. Everything about it, the plastic, the articulation, the art design, you know, it's just a great, great figure. And it is extremely, extremely unique. Let me see, is there a hinge at the wrist? Yeah. I didn't check that out because I'm here like drooling over this dude. This dude is a beast. He is an absolute beast. And I love how unique he is. You know, would I love him more if he was flocked? You know, that furry, fuzzy skin? No. This figure here is outstanding and unique. If they come out with a flocked version, it'll be outstanding and unique. I'm sure also. And I like that one in its own right. But I could also see a combination of flocking, right, with this figure as is. If you could imagine these areas being flocked, this lighter green, well, not the pauldrons here, or I mean the bracers or the gauntlets, but his hands, you know, maybe here by the legs being flocked, maybe these kneecap areas, and then the other area, keep it as is. That might be cool if there was like an alternate version of this figure. But this dude rocks. Marksman, I'm glad I opened him first, right? Because first impressions, yada, yada, yada. And I say first from the 4 that I currently have. Because again, I've reviewed Skelegod, and that dude is a monster. I love that dude. Can't wait to see him play out on film in the show. So this is one of the accessories. And this is, I guess, an effect of him just kind of like shooting out branches or tendrils, plant-like tendrils, as part of his combat arsenal. And this looks like it is the left hand. So this should just pop right out. It does. This pops in. Perfect. And I think that is... Nope, that's the right hand. Sorry. It seems to be a little loose. I don't know if it should go on the other one. Let's see if he can hold it up, because that thing is kind of heavy. Nice deal with the cut at the thigh, man. That just allows for so much more articulation of your figures. When you have a figure that can bend forward and back in at pretty much every joint, but then there's no rotation, kind of cancels out the benefit of having all those extra joints. Awesome. His arm is strong enough, and I don't think that arm will get weak over time. It seemed, I mean, again, I don't know. We'll find out, but it seems pretty strong. It's like kind of like a ratchet joint there or something, but it's really cool. So pop that out. Nice. He has, so these were kind of like the holding hands. He doesn't come with a weapon, but he has hands for holding. And I guess they could also be hands for punching. But we can get that off and pop in his next one. And I'll give you another look with one of the other emotive hands. I call them emotive hands because of their tendency to evoke a sense of gesturing. And they can affect the affect that your figure seems to be giving off a bit. So here we have 2 different looks. Work with the lighting, work with the lighting. So we've got one that's more of an open hand, one that's more of a straight kind of reaching hand, if you will. Both very nice. Very easy to pose him. The joints move smoothly, but yet they feel strong. And I am super excited, man, that I did not miss out on this new awesome era of toys and action figures and media. Wow, what a great time to be back into collecting toys. Mossman, 10 stars if I'm going to give any kind of rating. I'm looking forward to getting into the next box in the wave. As always, it is a joy to share the experience of collecting toys as an adult. I hope you're able to come back and share some experiences too. Until next time, take care, everybody. May the power be with you always.